That's a nice mug. That's a nice.
Today is a true day of reckoning. For how long have I been saying to the community that the Xbox has always been a niche regional brand? And now today, the reckoning has come. Run from it, dread it. Destiny arrives all the same. It was only a matter of time that I was proven right. And with Microsoft's own testimony that the market for consoles between PlayStation and Xbox is 70-30 globally, 80-20 in Europe, and 96-4 in Japan, proves what I have been saying right. It was inevitable. The failures of Xbox. They couldn't live with it. So who do they run to? Nintendo. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. This is your only friend these YouTube streets, PorterRock77. And we are back with another episode, 60 frames, no lag. We got the crew. I want to shout out to J-Dub. He's out there celebrating his birthday with his family. You know what I'm saying? He turned the big 60, 60 years old. You know, shout out now. I'm lying. He's not 60 years old. But I do want to wish him a happy birthday and all the blessings and all that stuff, right? And of course, you know, I got the crew up in here. Who I got up here? I see Jay Barry in the chat. Are you up in the room, Jay Breezy? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Of course. As he should. As he should. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to talk about it.
I ain't gonna miss this one, man.
Oh, no. This is gonna be.
I saw the title.
Yo, and especially with Kai.
Yo, I saw the title.
Yo, I got, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna talk about that. Yo, you know what I'm saying. How's everything, my brother? I see what's up growing. Big things are happening. Yo, I'm so proud of you, bro. I love the channel. Best PlayStation podcast, bar none. God damn, you and Persona hit the fucking formula, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's been a rough couple of weeks. To be honest with you, that's, you know, personal wise, but you know, we will endure. And but gaming wise, man, it's like one of the best weeks of PlayStation. Yeah. You know, like it's just nonstop, bro. You know what I mean? Yo, I almost shedded a tear today just playing some Legend Dragoon, man. So
is that game? Like, can you buy that game? I haven't checked yet. Is it purchasable?
Yeah, you can buy it. You can say you bought it already on PS3 or Vita. It already recognizes it, so you don't have to buy it again. But if you didn't have it, you can buy it.
Oh, nice. So I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna do what you say. Support the developer. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna do my part for the remake, bro. Get the remake. This is like the testing grounds.
That's a classic right there, man. And it holds up. Like they did a great job on the port. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a 1-to-1 port. It's looking like a PS1 game, but it looks clean. It look more refined. You know what I mean?
Nice. Oh, I can't wait. Ooh, this is greatness. Shout out to Kratos99 in the super chat. He said, "Oh, P-Rock, that cup. What you got drinking in there, bro?" Xbox salty tears.
Man, what a week, yo.
I'm telling you, bro. The next Marvel studio after Kang the Conqueror comes Portal God. The ruler.
Oh man,
that's I will end the Marvel universe once and for all. Portal God is coming. I'm gonna be just watch out for the end trailers. I will set the multiverse on fire. Oh man, but anyway, man, glad you're here, Jay Barry. All right, of course we got the Messiah, Craig, top flight security of the world, Craig.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, I caught a little tweet. I caught a little something. You talking about something? I don't know. Octopath no longer on Game Pass, and you think that what? What are you trying to say?
That Octopus Traveler, or what the hell it is,
Octopus.
it's leaving Game Pass. It's leaving Game Pass, and that's just one more Square game that's leaving Microsoft, and just more of an indicator that Square Enix has, in my opinion, been purchased by Sony.
Oh shit! Here we go. Yo,
I think the only game left, I have this in the, is probably, what's the name of that? The Crisis Core or something like that. I think
but that just came out.
Yeah, and it's not selling at all. Like it is barely charting with the Xbox. So, but yeah, and Xbox going third party called it years ago. So we're here. We're finally. Well, we're not here yet.
No.
But it's right next. It's right here now. It's right at the door.
Oh, here we go. Man, the bullshit's already started in the chat. We got Herpy Master.
Ugh.
He already starting. He said, "I still love you, P-Rock, as a man." Oh man, pause, bro. Pause. About to get the finger snap, dude.
And I just say it's
bro.
better than loving you as a woman.
Thanos was right. Yo, this shit is crazy. Thanos was right, bro. Half of existence needs to go. Legend of Dragon was remade. What? No, it wasn't remade. We're hoping for the remake, but it was up-res. So right now, it's on the PlayStation Store. They did like a little remastering or up-res, little improvements here and there. Does it have trophies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trophies. Yep.
So that's not bad. That's not a bad thing.
I saw that thing pop. I was, tears of joy, man. Tears of joy. I was like, yes.
When you hear the symbol, we hear the sound.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, that's good.
And PlayStation got like a new notification too.
I saw
like,
that.
Say you hit like a milestone on like your trophy level, it will let you know. Like, yeah, you hit level 500, and you know what I mean. Yeah, that's dope.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool because that's a new thing they didn't have before. That's what's up. All right, we got E4 Extreme from Down Under.
Hey guys, I just want to say I'm having a drink at the moment, and it's freezing, it's shaking, it's quaking.
Ooh.
I wish I had an Xbox jacket to put around it, you know? Keep it warm, keep it warm.
Yo, I tell you what, they're killing the clothing line. Yo, when I made that joke on the refrigerator, I knew something was up, and everybody was telling me, oh, it's just a meme. You're just a fanboy, Porterac. You're always talking shit about Xbox. You just can't have fun. And I'm like, bro, listen, I don't know if you ever seen the boardroom of Microsoft, but these motherfuckers don't got sense of humor. Alright? Like, when I think of sense of humor, Xbox corporate shareholders is the last group of people, I think, right? And when I saw this refrigerator, I'm like, it's not going to stop at this fridge. It's just not going to stop. It's going to keep going. And they're going to eat it up. And then what they did, the controller jacket, they got like a goddamn Carhartt
on top, yeah.
They got like a Carhartt goddamn North Face. They got Xbox controllers dressing up like New Yorkers in the wintertime. Right? And now they got a damn raincoat or whatever for a fucking, excuse my language, for a can. Bruh.
It's a parka or something.
What is this, a parka or weather jacket? I don't know. Yeah. A Helly Hansen sailor suit. Yo, it's crazy, bro.
I just wish I had it. My drink is miserable without it.
Yo, this soon they're gonna create pea coats for their headsets. At this point, like but I'm glad you come through, man. How you been doing, brother?
Been doing fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you for stopping by. We got another super chat. We got who we got here? We got Stony. What's up? He says, how do you launch a console in 2020, but 2 years later into the gen, you still ain't got no games for it? That doesn't even make any sense. Xbox is dog shit. I'm gonna just say this. These guys are promising more games for other platforms than their own. Like, yo, how you announcing more games for other platforms and you ain't got shit for your own? Yo, it's crazy. This is
I just want to say that they have announced games. They just haven't delivered them. So
okay, yeah, it's just announced. It's
That's a difference.
Yeah, it's true, very true. Perpetual announcements. That's what they stole. Project Cloud, my brother.
How's it going, man? Glad I'm joining during the introductions.
It feels like forever.
I know.
You've been busy. You've been doing good things. Good things, man. I'm glad you were able to catch up.
Yeah, I know, because like it's been a couple weeks or so since your last podcast, and then it's probably a couple weeks before that since mine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That reminds me, man. I still owe my live on the cruise. Still gotta talk about that, man. Right now, I'm still impacted by the post cruise blues. It hurts, man. I want to go back, man. I don't want to live in reality. This shit's crazy. Yeah, man. But how you been, brother? What you been up to? Hey, have you played Callisto Protocol yet?
nope.
Oh my! You should have not even bought it. You should have waited for the sale.
That's okay, man. I wanted to support the dev.
Okay. Yeah, they need all the support they can get.
I want an IP to be successful, even if it's not collectively deemed as such. But
All right, man. So you've been busy.
I'm hoping for a sequel, and that franchise can,
Well, you
do
gotta
good
play-
on itself, either with this game or a sequel or a spin-off or just some way, somehow.
What will help is if you
Some
play
chances,
the first
but-
one. If you play the first, that might help. Because they gotta
but
see some
at the end of
activity.
the day-
They gotta see some activity behind it.
At the end of the day, though, they got to get paid. If they're not
that's
paid, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, at the end of the day, what keeps the business floating is people buying the stuff as opposed to playing.
No.
It's engagement.
If they don't see the stats of engagement, they're not gonna.
They
It might
get
sell,
paid.
but they're gonna be like,
Everyone gets paid in engagement.
Exposure.
I
Okay,
paid-
well, maybe there's.
I paid my mortgage with 4,000 engagement points.
There you
Now
go.
play.
At the end of the day, it
And-
comes
and-
down to what was the
And
deal.
some
Yeah.
and some
What was
platinum
the deal?
trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the shareholder expectation of
It's
the,
all about the engagement. That's how the industry runs. It runs on engagement, and car hats and sweaters for controllers. Got to keep controllers warm. Oh, man.
and subscription services
Yeah,
and
subscription
Yep.
service, yeah. For $1.
cloud gaming.
For
Cloud
$1.
gaming.
For $1.
Are you excited to play Call of Duty on Nintendo?
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait.
I'm
It's
buying
the
a Switch
best.
just for that.
The best.
Fuck
version.
Zelda. Fuck Mario. COD,
Best-
bro.
best.
Let's go.
Best on
Hoorah.
Switch. What's going on? Call me Jay. How's everything, brother?
All good, bro. Just I sold my Xbox. I sold my PC. I sold my PlayStation. It's just cloud gaming from now on.
Cloud is it. This does
Yeah.
it all. This does it all.
Yep. I traded all that just for an iPad, and now I'm
listen,
playing
listen.
xCloud. GeForce Now's getting COD. What, bro? Oh, fuck.
Oh man, it's going away. PlayStation's going away a blockbuster. That's what I was told. Look at this. It's going away a blockbuster. This is apparently blockbuster. That big blue that you see on the screen. That's blockbuster.
That's
what I was told. PlayStation's going away a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Xbox is the Netflix of this generation. Yo,
I mean,
how you go? No, go ahead, call me Jay.
Oh, no, I was just going to say what I've been playing. I've just been playing a lot of Division 2 lately. I jumped back into that
really?
shit. It's been really fun.
A lot of changes.
Yeah.
A lot of I bought the game, and I never played it. And you know what's funny? I
Like-
keep it installed, and I just keep getting all the updates. And I haven't even...
Okay,
I
there's
got
a ton to
200
do in the
gigs.
game.
I don't even know what the title screen looks like.
There's a lot of things to do in the game now, and on PS5 and on the next gen consoles, it runs at 60, so it's a lot better.
Oh man!
You can also zoom out the camera a bit, so it's not so close to the character.
Yeah, I got it.
And then starting to yesterday, I think I was playing Atomic Heart for a little bit.
Okay.
It seems pretty interesting.
Yeah,
that's about it.
There's a lot going. There's a lot to consume with that game. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Game too. There's a lot. I mean, just like golly, can you buy anything without looking like an asshole in this world? Like,
Oh my
fuck,
god!
bro. Excuse my language. Like, it seems like anything you buy, you're like causing some type of, genocide or something. I'm like, shit. Can I buy
And then
some
like
ice?
you're the
I can't even buy
problem
ice
if
cream.
you buy this.
And then you look at that person's tweet and it says, "Tweet it on iPhone."
Like, no, like, yeah, like, this is just craziness. Like,
Tweet it from Android.
How you say it? How you say it, J Bar? Pure craziness.
Pure craziness.
This is
man.
pure craziness. Oh, all right. So, and we got Jenna Hayes. Shout out to Jenna. Says, laugh aloud. This Nintendo Call of Duty is a rumor. Nintendo hasn't even acknowledged it, and Nvidia hasn't even said anything.
And
I don't know.
Vader
I
said
don't think the vice president of Microsoft will go out there and lie. I think that's way, and then do it in front of like an actual government body. That's pushing it right there.
I haven't seen Nintendo, but I did see Nvidia talk about it on GeForce Now.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the Nvidia thing.
I think it's legit.
It's done. Yeah. So it's just
that's cool because I do use it sometimes, GeForce Now, because it's actually way better than Game Pass Cloud, whatever the fuck. So I actually enjoy playing on cloud when I'm away from home on the GeForce Now.
Kratos99 with the super chat is P-Rock. It's crazy that Microsoft admitted they basically suck and admitting Sony is better than them. Yo, facts is... Listen, it was eventuality. Listen, you call me fraud for so long. You know what I'm saying? I said this... Oh, my God. I think last night I said this. I was calling Xbox the niche brand. Really, it's only a brand in America. That's really the only place where Xbox is relevant. You know, people try to use Brazil. I'm like, okay, so you got 10,000 people in Brazil that play Xbox. Big whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about the big markets, all of Europe, Japan, and even here, Xbox getting his ass kicked. But it's doing better as compared to. It's better than 80-20. I'll say that, right? Which is not much. Mm-hmm. I told people, Xbox is niche, bro. And everybody, I call flack for that. And now look.
Yep.
Who got the Infinity Gauntlet now, biatch?
What's gonna really suck is if they actually lose and they don't acquire Activision. It's gonna make them look so bad.
Now that listen. When I absolutely knew Xbox was a niche brand, and I told this story before, but for the people who haven't heard it, it was while I was living in Germany, and somebody mentioned it. Matty Beast, P-Rock. We lived in Germany for years, barely ever saw an Xbox. So in Germany, this was 2020, mind you, right? I remember. I can't even tell you the month. It was March because it was before the COVID lockdown, right? So I had orders to move back to the States, which got delayed by 6 months because 2 days later, the Department of Defense says, "Hey, no military is moving due to COVID." So this is how crazy it was. So the government contracted movers. And since I was in Germany, German movers that got contracted, they came into my house and they started packing everything up, right? The items that were deemed, expensive, whatever, they would write down the serial numbers. So like my TV, the PlayStations, things like that, right? So I had the PlayStation 4. The guy grabbed the PlayStation 4. He knew where the serial number was at. He wrote it down, put it on the special form. We both looked at it to make sure the numbers match. Got it. He grabbed my PSVR, right? He went... He knew where the serial number was at. Whatever, wrote it down. And we both looked at it. We verified. I'm like, oh, yep, that's how it is. I didn't even know what the serial number was the PSVR was at, but he knew. Now, this is where it gets funny. He grabs my Xbox One. Mind you, it's the Halo Terabyte Edition. He grabs it. Especially designed with Halo. You can see all the symbols and all that. And he looks at me, he's like, what is this? This is pretty big for a VCR. For a DVD player. I was like, like, what? I'm like, it's an Xbox One. He's like, oh, so this is how it looks like. He never saw an Xbox One. The man knew the goddamn serial number of a PSVR, but he does not know what an Xbox One looked at. At that point, I'm like, yo, it's over. Yo, this brand is over, bro. When people know what the serial number of a PSVR is at, but and it's not like it had Halo on the goddamn thing. Like, hey, yo, I was like, this brand is done in Europe. That's when I really knew there's no hope for this brand in Europe. Like, yo, wrap it up, bro. Wrap this shit up. It's over. That's when I knew.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
TV.
I didn't even know the serial number of the VR. He knew. And then we're both looking at the serial number. He's like, oh, here we go. And I was like, bro, to be honest, it's not even a high value item. Just throw that shit next to the towels.
That's it. That's in Germany, but even in the U.S., you remember when DJ Khaled, when they sent him some stuff and he said, "Oh, that's a nice speaker."
Yeah, they put it.
You didn't even know.
Yo, it's crazy. It's absolute craziness. Absolutely. So let's hit the first topic, right? So the vice president of Microsoft, I guess, talked to not the CMA, but the EU. Or was he talking to CMA?
It was the EU, I think.
It was the EU. It had this presentation.
Yeah, recently has all this new stuff is from the EU.
Okay, so it's from the EU. He also tweeted out on Twitter that officially Microsoft made a 10-year deal to put Call of Duty on Nintendo. Right? So let me go through. Let me start. Listen, I'm gonna have to start this with Jay Barry, right? Because out of anybody in this room, Jay Barry's the COD guy. He's all about COD. Jay Barry, let me know what you think about what Microsoft's trying to push, right? And then that's my first question, like your opinion. Like, you think this is a show? How they're gonna execute it? And then number two, if Call of Duty, let's say, is on the Switch, right? Because some people are assuming, since he said Nintendo, it doesn't necessarily mean Switch, or it could be cloud, but not necessarily native, to Switch. But let's say it is native to the Switch. Are you concerned that now Switch is gonna hold back Call of Duty's future? Because technically, that platform is weaker than the Xbox One. So let me know what you think about the whole deal.
I mean, absolutely. This whole tweet that we saw this morning, or whenever they tweeted out early at night or late at night or whatnot, all the glitter is not gold. You know what I mean? This is not good news for any COD fan or anybody that likes COD, due to the careful wording that they're saying here. Yes, if it's going to the Switch, yes, that's a big concern, because COD is normally known, especially on the single player side, of like pushing, the boundaries. And I'm not saying that everything's like bar setting, but they're pretty good looking games. They're very upbeat, fast paced. The performance is always pretty good in the games.
Like that 60.
Yeah, so it could be 120 hertz and all that too. It could be a big concern.
15 frames on the Switch.
It could be a big concern with the Switch, but I don't think necessarily they're talking about a Switch. They're probably mostly talking about the next, generation for Nintendo. But here's where the wording gets a little bit, muffled, or people are missing, is that they are saying here they want feature and content parity, that's not a good thing. Yeah, the content wise, I can understand content wise, but feature wise, that eliminates any other console's uniqueness that it will offer. Like, say, the PlayStation 5, Call of Duty is known to take full advantage of the DualSense controller. In the future, this could possibly mean that, you want Call of Duty, you want Call of Duty on your platform, we want feature parity. We don't want nothing different. So we probably going to not develop for the DualSense. You're just going to have a regular, how the Xbox version is ran, that's how you're going to have it.
That's the default.
And Nintendo,
that's the default setting. Yeah,
because now they own the franchise. And Nintendo is normally known for having their feature sets that's exclusive to the platform, whatever they do. And like I said, Call of Duty is a big game that typically can push and help sell your platform, because they do push those unique features that set the consoles apart. But Microsoft, they don't want that. They want parity across the board. So any type of features that the next Nintendo console is going to have, or heck, even PlayStation 5 in the future, that's a possibility. It can be gone because his wording say full feature set, feature and content parity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the scary part to me.
Yeah, they want to take. Sounds like they want to take away any reason you play this on any other platform. They just want it to be bland. What it sounds like.
They want the advantage to be playing it on xCloud or through Game Pass. That's the only advantage that they want.
Exactly, and that's what PlayStation. That's what PlayStation's hiding. I mean, fighting against. And PlayStation don't want to communicate with Xbox or Microsoft about any type of deals, because that's their major, competition. But that's what Microsoft want. They want to be in the rooms of all these platforms. You know what I mean? They're making it sound good. Oh yeah, you're gonna get all the software, you're going all the features, all the whatever. We're gonna have parity throughout the thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing. And I tell Nintendo fans, hey, don't be cheering for this. This is not a good deal. This is not a good deal here. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna boast the console that Nintendo's gonna announce in the future. You're gonna talk about the features and what it can do. And it's most likely you're not going to take advantage of none of that. You're not going to have any type of uniqueness towards that big game like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a good deal or a good thing that what they're announcing here. But they slick as hell. People's not seeing it. But hey, it is what it is.
All right. Appreciate it. Hey, call me Jay. What do you think about this?
So there's two scenarios that happen here. If it's a cloud-based game, then nobody's gonna play it because nobody wants to play with latency. The Switch doesn't have 5 gigahertz as far as I know, and even if it had, you need really good internet, and who knows where the servers for those games are at, from where you're located. So any way you slice it is gonna have some latency. That's gonna be pretty bad. For slower games like Resident Evil, that was fine, but for this, I don't think it's gonna work. If it's native to it, either the PC and the console versions are going to look terrible because they have to downgrade certain aspects of those games to cater to the Nintendo Switch now. And on top of that, now the developers have to work on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PS4 Pro, Series X, and all these insane amount of consoles just to make one game. So the amount of content we're going to get is going to be less. The amount of support we're going to get is going to be less. It's going to be a lot more buggy because there's the same amount of devs working on a lot more stuff now. And basically most of what Jay Barry said, honestly, it's not going to be good. And Microsoft is trying to finesse people here by picking Nintendo and Nvidia. Both of them don't really care because Nvidia just sells hardware. They have GeForce Now, and all they really care about is about having more games. And Nvidia isn't really known for going out to developers and being like, "Hey, pull your game here." They're more like, "Hey, if you want," it's like Steam. If you want to put the game on our service, go ahead. We don't really care. And Nintendo's not really known for Call of Duty. They've never really been, only on the Wii and very little. So it's I don't think they're really moving the needle as much as they think they are to these people from the CMA or the UK government and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Hey, Messiah, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of wordsmithing by Microsoft. It's a good technique. You try to bring in everybody else to say to these regulatory agencies hey, look, you need to. They've already approved it. We're waiting on you. Everybody's waiting. This is not our fault. But it's a lot of wordsmithing. It's just I don't have a dog in the fight either way. It's not finished yet. But if this is what they're going to go with, trying to get public pressure, then you don't really have a case. But I have to wait and see what exactly how it turns out. They're just, to me, the bigger deal is that they're going. It's just puts them one step closer to going third party, which is what they're being pushed to do, pretty much. So like you were talking about, Puerto Rock, how they've, the CMA said, well, if it's not about Call of Duty, then divest. And you can clearly see that's not what they want. Now they're saying publicly it is about Call of Duty. So, a lot of wordsmithing. We just have to wait and see how it turns out.
All right. Extreme. What's going on, my brother? What do you think about all this?
Yo, anyone ever use Microsoft Excel? You know what the thing I love about Excel is that it looks like you're busy. Like it looks like you're doing something when you're on Excel. I remember when I was in school, the teachers are coming around to your computer, you're playing a game, and you're like, oh shit, I can't let them see this. So let me just put on Excel, and it looks like I'm doing a lot of things at once. I feel like this deal is exactly like that. How can you make a 10-year promise for something you don't own? Yeah. I'm just like, okay, so you're just trying to look like you're busy. You're trying to look like you're making things happen. But in reality, I think the Messiah just talked about it, you're trying to corner people against something, but I'm like, that's not really what the concern were for the regulators. They weren't 5 out of 7 people don't agree with this. So Microsoft is like, hey, look, they're on our side now. It just seems like they're just trying to do something, just to be like, hey, public, hey, Xbox gamers, we're doing something for you. There are no games, but we signed this deal, so that counts for something, right? To me, it doesn't. So I don't really care. I don't think that this deal is going to get anywhere. I think it's going to just be blocked, and all of these promises will have meant nothing at the end of the day, and that's all.
So it's a good point you make up, because when Microsoft first announced the Activision deal, you didn't hear anything about Nintendo or Nvidia Shield or whatever, right? The only thing you heard, I think Phil Spencer was one of the first ones to tweet out, oh, just got off the phone with Sony, talk about Call of Duty, let them know, blah, 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 blah. And then Jim Ryan, a couple of months later, is like, whoa, wait a minute. You guys are trying to make Microsoft look like the good guy, they only promised us 3 years. That's inadequate, right? And then the ball just started getting worse and all that stuff. And then you have the FTC, the CMA having concerns. Now all of a sudden it's 10 years for everybody, out of the blue. Like if Microsoft would have said all this right from the get-go, from the very first day they announced ABK, that day, which was January what? Like last year? Was it? It was January last year when they first announced it? If they would have said right from the get-go, hey, we're in the process of acquiring ABK, we're looking at Nintendo, Nvidia Shield, excuse me, Nvidia Shield, we're going to reach out to Sony, blah, 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 10 years. If they would have came out right from the gate and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Then maybe we would have, this would look a bit more genuine, right? But to me, all of this was a reaction. This is all, like Call Me Jay, you did a good point saying now they have to develop, if this goes through and Microsoft holds their promise, all this contracts, now you have even more stuff they have to do. Microsoft is giving them because they want the deal. So they'll put all this pressure on their studios no matter what.
Yeah, they don't care about the developers. They don't care really what they gotta do. They just want to own the IP. Yeah. It's similar to Bungie with Halo. Bungie was like, yo, we're done with 3. And they're like, no, you're going to make one more and then you can leave. And they're like, fuck, okay, we'll make this one then.
Yeah. So this was not originally part of Microsoft's plan. This is just something they have to do to appease the government body. Like you said, so it's like Extreme said, it's for show. It's to look busy, right? Yeah. But this was never really in the cards at all. They never mentioned any of this stuff. Only now they're going to everybody. How come you didn't say that over a year ago when you first announced the project? How come you didn't go to NVIDIA immediately after the announcement?
Yeah, because it wasn't their initial intention. Remember, PlayStation was like, the deal that they brought forth was inadequate.
Phil Spencer should have called Nintendo and PlayStation and NVIDIA and like AMD and Google and been like, we'll put it on Stadia.
Yeah, they could have talked to Stadia before it closed down. Like, hey, Stadia.
Google Stadia and GeForce Now has been out for a very, very long time. They could have put their Xbox games on those services a long time ago, but they didn't, and they're doing it now just to look good, like Extreme said.
And it clearly shows what people have been saying. Like, oh, this deal is not just about Call of Duty. It is mainly about Call of Duty because this is what they're fighting for. This is why you have this piss poor ass you showing here on your screen, Pete, right, with this graph.
Yeah, the president even said that the idea of like getting rid of Call of Duty or selling it off is not something they're looking for.
Yep.
So that's off the table. That's off the table.
He got asked about that, and he immediately changed the subject to like, "Oh no, but we're bringing it to 150 million more people." Yeah, so that's what he'd rather do.
Shout out to Tommy Bull, says Nintendo need ABK since they got 0% of the market. They don't need them. If anything, I give props to Nintendo because they are literally immune to all this bullshit. They don't give a damn. You want to bring it?
That's why they're not on that graph.
Either way, our shit's still gonna outsell Call of Duty anyway on our own platform. So it's irrelevant to them, and
that's a win-win for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just a win-win. But they literally created a brand and ecosystem immune from worrying about Madden, 2K, GTA. None of those games have any impact on the success of Nintendo.
When we say Nintendo's an anomaly, we mean it. Yes, they don't. None of these big games that we think are big, they don't exist on Nintendo Land. They don't exist.
They don't care. DD
it's like the Xbox guy, that guy on Germany that was like, "What is this?" Like that's Nintendo gamers when they see COD and other games like that.
Oh, COD, you still make that? Nintendo's like, "Y'all still make that?" We didn't notice. DD Vito, interesting that Brad Sams seemed to avoid a question when asked about how the hearing with regulars went. May not be allowed to speak on it though. Maybe if he has more details he's not supposed to speak on. Who knows? But it's all for show. The whole. Let me ask you guys. We'll go to Project Cloud. Project Cloud, my brother. What do you think about all this nonsense?
That's an interesting word. I mean, unfortunately, you beat me to it. But I was going to say this deal that Nintendo accepted. They accepted the inadequate deal.
Oh, no, he's speaking.
Because my understanding is, I think there was something out there that already said Microsoft approached Sony about a 10-year deal, and that to them was even inadequate.
Yeah. So yeah. Could be wrong about that. So it was before that. So the first was 3 year. Then Microsoft bumped up 10. And then they started, 10 for you. Then they started doing the Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
10 years for you, 10 years for you, 10 years for everybody. When they weren't like that in the beginning.
I guess 10 years of work for Nintendo, who hasn't gotten caught in forever. So, But I'll say this, though, like, about the deal about feature and content parity. That feels like just generic terminology to me. I would be very surprised if there was any intention of, we're not going to support the DualSense anymore, or whatever new controller, PS6 has. We're not going to... That doesn't make any sense to me. And when I say that, I mean you can expect to still see the DualSense well supported with Call of Duty releases.
In Microsoft, no. In Microsoft,
I don't mean to cut you off, but you're not fully wrong on that. But Microsoft is petty as hell. You saw what they did with Ubisoft on the Xbox One generation. They purposely told them to downgrade the PS4 version of certain games like Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity to be parity with the Xbox One version, which was a lot weaker. The PS4 version could have done 1080p, but they were like, nah, put that shit on 900p, 30 FPS.
So what I would say
also it could be a selling point for that platform. Somebody looking to buy Call of Duty or the next console, they'd be like, oh, this console has implementations that I can feel my gun. I'm going to get it over here. You know what I mean? They want that as much as they have it on the other platforms, or it's multi-plat. They want the game being played on their platform. So yeah, I think they will take. Why would you say feature and content parity if you wasn't planning to take something like that away?
I hear what you mean. True parity would literally mean that we're not going to maximize the capabilities of the platform that we're on, because we have to basically that means find the lowest common denominator. The problem, though, is Nintendo has, for at least the past few console generations, the GameCube was the last time they were seriously competitive power-wise. They have weak hardware. So there's no way that Microsoft is going to be like, okay, so now we can't have ray tracing in Call of Duty because Switch can't support it, or potentially even the next successor to Switch, is just going to barely get you there. Or what I mean?
See that with some of the games.
See a situation where we have to.
We see that with games now, though. We see that with games.
I think ray tracing is a bad point to bring up, because ray tracing is essentially just flipping a switch and making certain shaders take advantage of that. But when we're talking about content and feature parity, we mean imagine if the Warzone map gets downscaled even more because the Switch can't handle that big of a map, as dense as it is. So the new maps that we might get on Modern Warfare 2, they might be 100% complete on if it wasn't on the Switch, but now that because the Switch is there, they have to take away certain rooms. They have to tone down the amount of debris on the map. It looks a lot more like an older Call of Duty than a newer one that's pushing the boundaries of the consoles.
Also, we see games that PlayStation basically are not don't have the marketing rights for, or paying for marketing. Some of those games don't take advantage of the DualSense because they want parity between the both versions or whatever versions of their games. The ones that do go out their way are the ones that PlayStation have marketing rights for. Like you see Hogwarts, or you see a multi-plat game where that game will have third party. I mean, that game will have DualSense implementations. But yeah, PlayStation is going out their way to make sure it's being paid for.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, Call of Duty, it's not like it's an open world game that's going to be pushing boundaries. I mean, I guess there is an action RPG or something in the that Infinity Ward is developing. Again, it hasn't fully come to light or whatever. But if we're talking about the traditional FPS, the linear campaign, if that tradition continues, and I really don't see any reason to think otherwise on that, feature and content parity. That seems like it's just going to work. I'll be honest with you. Multiplayer could be a different story if you're talking about number of players on the map, maybe, or how large the map is. Yeah. I could see that, but at the same time, I just have a little bit of a hard time seeing that. I don't know. They wouldn't use power of the cloud to somehow get Nintendo up there, and I think maybe
this could be a cloud-based game, like Resident Evil 7 and 8. Are not natively on the Switch, right?
Yeah.
But they're playing in the cloud.
I do think that Microsoft is saying we want native releases, but that still doesn't, to me, negate the fact that if you get fancy with your technology, you can still have a native game that is, very cloud dependent, such as like Flight Simulator. Again, it's an extreme example because that's a native game that uses the cloud, in a massive way to support even, the content that you're seeing on screen. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that if the Series X and PS5 versions are just going to be able to do so much more, and then they also want to do that on the Switch, somehow using the cloud to deliver that to you.
But what is the cloud really doing? Locally. Like, what is it? What's the cloud actually doing? Is it lowering the file size of the game in general? What exactly is the cloud will be doing here?
I think
is it like a Crackdown 3 thing where Crackdown 3 was going to use the cloud and it was going to, process all the debris and destruction on the cloud, but it never did? Something like that on the Switch? Because it's like
Flight Simulator,
you can look up.
Well, Flight Simulator, I think they did because of the maps, because it was like tied to maps.
Yeah, you can look at Doom. Doom is like. Yeah. Doom is the most optimized shooter that's been out in the past 10 years, and even that game struggled to run on the Switch. So if that game running on Vulkan, and they are the gods of Vulkan, and the game is running amazing, even on a potato computer, barely ran on the Switch, not even at the native resolution, like Call of Duty, there's no chance. Call of Duty is a lot more demanding. It's not using the same API.
We're talking about Switch is weaker than the Xbox One.
So here's maybe your solution.
That's how bad.
Cloud versions for the Switch.
Solution that I see for the Switch is
Switch 2.
Yeah.
What I see the Switch doing, at least for the time being, is that they're going to take the mobile versions of the Call of Duty. They're not really talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare on console. They're talking about COD Mobile or Warzone Mobile.
It could be mobile parity.
And put that on
parity with the mobile.
Hear me out. Cloud versions on every platform.
Oh,
there you go.
Man.
Hell yeah.
No native release for anybody.
No, you lucky I don't have a room. About to
same latency across all platforms.
You go to the room.
Everybody sucks the same.
Oh hell no!
Nobody's trying to play no Call of Duty on the cloud, like not in the multiplayer wise.
That's all you get.
Hey bro, Jay Barry, 1v1 bro. I'll play on XCloud. You play on PS5. Let's see who wins.
Hey, this is a good segue. If you read the super chat,
that's gonna be crazy.
I want to ask y'all a question. This is a good one. So let me shout out. Shout out to Kratos99. Says, wait a second. I think this meeting did so good because why is Microsoft saying that Sony is beating them in market share? Because they're getting their ass handed to them. Facts is facts, bro. Sometimes, man, a man's got to know his limitations. When you're getting your when you're getting your ass whooped, you gotta throw in the towel.
Yeah, ultimately, it's about them trying to create a scenario where there's public pressure for Sony, in this case, Sony, to accept this.
It ain't gonna work.
So, yeah, I don't disagree. None of this. A lot of the stuff that has been reported. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that have been reported, and again, like you said, Porter Rock, there's 2.5 million pages of stuff. These guys have read 30, but a lot of the stuff that the CMA and the EU had talked about, at least publicly, Microsoft, and what I saw today, didn't address it. So they're going outside in, which is a good move to try to create public pressure. It's called a little bighorn. It actually does work in business. It's what happened with Facebook. Everybody, people were using MySpace, but but the college students were using Facebook, and they were forcing the MySpace people to make changes. So it's the same type of public pressure, and it might work. We'll have to wait and see.
Facebook saw how Instagram was getting popular, and it was like, what? We just gonna buy them out.
Bring them in. Yeah. So we'll just kind of wait and see. I don't know how this is gonna play out. I'm not an attorney, so but at the end of the day, this is very simple. It either Microsoft is going to address what the CMA and the EU, they're going to remedy it, or they're not. That's literally, this is either or.
Greg,
there is no gray. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Microsoft is purposely doing bad with Xbox, bro. Because, like I said, before the generation started, they were on this path where it's like, yo, guys, look at all these games coming to this fucking console, bro. They had a whole show showing like plus 20 games coming to Series X and S. And that's been 2020, bro. None of those games are out yet. you have to be purposely not doing.
I know what you mean because it's so bad that now it has to be strategic. Like there's no way you could be this bad by accident. There's just no way, bro. Not by accident, bro.
It's purposely done. It's purposely done, bro. There's no way.
So you think they thought so far ahead? They're like, we're gonna start now, like 2 years before or 3 years before we start acquiring shit. Let's start making ourselves look bad right now.
Man, I'm just saying.
Call me Jay. Look at the stories, bro. Look at the stories that's coming out. Management can't get this game right. Gotta go to this developer. It's like, yo, you are one of the richest companies. Everybody they talk about a war chest. You're telling your fans don't worry about sales, but yet you can't get no games out. You got all this money. You can't get no games out.
I always said, I feel
like it's not that hard. I feel like it's not that hard to push out a game. Like if you look at the interviews of Sony Studios, right, when they talk about when the big guys like Shuhei Yoshida would come and see their games, according to what they said, Shu would only be like, I don't like it, change it, and he would just walk out. That's it. And they're like, fuck, we're gonna make this game better. Like, how hard is it for Phil Spencer to sit down and be like, this is garbage, please change this, rather than being like, yay, very good, keep doing this. Like, what?
Bro, they led off with Hellblade 2 in 2019. Mm-hmm. It's 2023, bro.
Those developers pushed out Hellblade in 3 or 2 years, right? Hellblade
came out in 2017.
But how long did they develop that game for? 2 years or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
It was like a fast release of a AA game that felt like a AAA game. How come they're taking so long on this one? It has to be purposeful.
It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, bro, it's something not right in that water, bro.
Jay Barry got the conspiracy theory. He said they doing this shit.
Oh, bro,
there's no way you could suck this bad by accident.
P-Roy, that's what I'm saying. There's companies with less. Look at what PlayStation, Nintendo doing on a consistent basis, bro. They have less.
Across the board. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's quality. It's quality. People got to remember that the quality, even though we may not all play Nintendo games, we can't argue with the quality that they come out with. And the same with Sony. It's just Microsoft.
Yeah, but the thing is, the games are coming out.
I disagree. I disagree. Here's why. Because quality, we can argue about quality, right? But it's releasing games. Like, they haven't been releasing or pumping out games consistently.
Guys, it's simpler than all of that. I think they're simply solving problems that gamers don't want solved. I said this last week. Game Pass is a way to solve the problem of access to games, which was a problem that we have had solutions to for ages. Then they're trying to create all of these small indie games and passion projects, and gamers are like, yeah, okay, cool, but we want the big stuff. So Microsoft is just invested, like cloud gaming. That's a problem that gamers at the moment don't really care to have solved. Would people like the idea of like walking to a random bus stop in the middle of nowhere and be able to put up like the console gaming experience? Sure, that sounds nice in theory, but no one is really going to be like that invested in it en masse. So the thing with Xbox is just like, they're just fighting the wrong fight. And they're fighting very well, but nobody cares about the efforts that they're making. So I just think that that's it. They just have the wrong approach. They think that somehow making access to everybody for the cheapest price possible is going to be the thing that finally catapults them towards success. And gamers are like, yeah, nah, maybe later, but not now.
I think you have to shout out to the late great Optimus Code. I think it's okay to admit that one or two things can be true at the same time, and I think it's a quality issue. That's why there's so much angst, and why people are upset because like you all were saying, where are these games? I mean, we know Hellblade, at least if you played it, back in the day, that was a quality release. So yeah, people do have the right to be asking, where is the second one? Why are you all switching from the Halo game, going from half a gazillion dollars to switching over the engines and whatever they're trying to do? It's a quality issue. It's a management issue too.
The problem to me is just releases. Like, I don't care if Fable sucks a little bit or a little bit more. I just want Fable. Like, give me Fable again. And where's Fable at? Where's Gears of War? Like, a good one. Like, I'm tired of this. They don't know what they're doing with the story of Gears of War. Like, give us like more games. Let's stop doing Forza over and over. I'm just so tired. I want more games from Xbox, and that's what they're not doing.
Unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You are not wrong about that. But that also adds to the angst. I mean, what about the Forza games, whether Forza and Motorsports and the other the Forza game? Those are considered quality games. The Forza games are showpieces.
Yeah.
As far as some of the first games. So yeah, I don't disagree. We can expect quality from those games because of the history. But these other games, Fable was hit or miss. Back
they don't they own the property for Lost Odyssey, the IP?
They may,
right?
I'm not sure.
They delisted that from the Xbox store. Like, how come we don't have a remaster or a sequel to that game if they own the IP? Like, they have IPs, I think, that they own that are Japanese based. Like, how come they're not doing anything with them? Like Blue Dragon, for example. Where's Blue Dragon 2? Where's the efforts?
I understand. That's a good question.
Conquer Banjo.
Got no sequels.
They got so many games right now. Rare on its own. The Rare itself, that developer by itself has a ton of bangers that they can come out and it could look amazing and run amazing on their Xbox. But where are they? They're just focused on Sea of Thieves.
Here's a question. So, I understand. We all understand in this room the advantages of exclusivity, both for the company and for the gamers on that specific platform. But here's my thing with Microsoft. Microsoft keeps pushing, we get our games to more players, with this future that they're trying to push, right? Now, here's my thing with Bethesda, right? Microsoft's admitting that Sony has a 70-30% market domination over Xbox 30%. All right. Before Microsoft acquired Bethesda, their games was available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, where Xbox is 30%. Now their games is Xbox PC. Someone tell me how is Bethesda games now available to more people when they literally cut out the segment that makes up 70% of the market according to Microsoft worldwide. And then if you look at the image in Europe, 80%. So how is 80% of the console market, according to that image, no longer having Bethesda reaching out to more gamers? Like, who is these more gamers are playing? Like,
that's a lie.
Yeah.
Less gamers,
considerably less gamers are going to be playing Bethesda games.
Yeah, they need to build their ecosystem. They want to drive people into their ecosystem. So they buy Bethesda, fine, but then they start pulling IP. And that's a way to get people to just go into their ecosystem. I don't.
Yeah, because their initial pitch wasn't honest. So what they were saying with Bethesda, they said that they wanted to bring these games and not take it away from platforms, but it did the opposite.
Yeah. So So
yeah, like end of the day,
right to say to them that we don't believe you that you're not going to do this. So I mean, they've presented this. They've presented information about Bethesda at the FTC. At the CMA.
Yeah, but exactly what P Rock is saying, they're contradicting themselves because they're saying that they want to reach out to more gamers, but you're taking it away from your majority of where the gamers are for these games.
I understand the why
when they did that. When they did the Bethesda thing with Starfield, they shot themselves in the foot. All they really had to do was keep all those games on where they were on PlayStation, even brand new IPs like Starfield. They could just release them on PlayStation digitally and on disc. All they gotta do is put those games on Game Pass. That's all they had to do. All they had to do
was just be honest on what they wanted to do with the game.
And we understand. Like, believe me, Microsoft buying Bethesda, buying Activision, buying whoever, we completely understand that you want those games exclusive to your brand, to your specific ecosystem. We're not stupid. It's obvious. We know that. The question is, why are you preaching that you have the capability to reach out to more gamers while at the same time you took the game literally out of majority of the console market by their own admission?
Yeah.
That's just a bold-faced lie. Listen, just
you know what they said. You know what they said today, P Rock? They were actually blaming PlayStation that Call of Duty can't reach out to like 150 million more people because they're slowing up this acquisition to get the games on the Nintendo platform.
Listen, the only
That's
people,
that's what dude was saying.
what's funny, the only people that is the only people that literally is gatekeeping Call of Duty is Activision themselves. They could put the game on whoever they want. That game could have been put on Nintendo. It could have been put on an Nvidia Shield. Could have been on Stadia. Sony doesn't tell people where Call of Duty should go or shouldn't go. That's all Activision. Activision chose to limit where Call of Duty is at. Like, that's not a place.
That's what this dude was. That's what he was saying, because somebody was doing like a word to word, like, update on Twitter, and that's what it's like. Yeah, what's his name, Brad Smith or whatever his name is, like, yeah, saying that PlayStation is holding up. They didn't say it like that for word, but that's what it was.
Yeah. So, but they're trying to make it seem like as if the only way to get these games everywhere is if Microsoft purchased Activision. That's bullshit. Activision could do it themselves.
And now they're using the Switch install base. It's in 150 million, even though they're not at 150 million yet.
But you know what I'm saying? But just, hey, Activision could say, hey, you don't need Microsoft deal. We can do it ourselves right now. Like, Activision has the power to do it themselves.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping Activision from saying, we're just going to go to Microsoft and have them buy us independently, or buy several IPs from us independently, and then they buy those teams and they publish the game and they support those teams. There's nothing stopping that from happening. That's what I've always thought should happen anyway. But I agree. There's that's what cracks me up about it. So is that there's nothing preventing them, and multiple people have said that on business, like on CNBC and stuff like that. They're like, well, what's preventing Activision from just selling IP? And people are like, nothing. They can do that tomorrow, if they want to. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to wait and see. It's crazy.
Yeah. If anything, I would just say people should be thanking PlayStation, because all it is because they went, woo, pump the brakes. Pump them brakes. We smelling, this smells like doo-doo. Right? And because of that, Microsoft's jumping through hoops trying to put Call of Duty on whatever platform they could do it. Shout out to Glorious War. Thank you for the super chat. Just got my PSVR2. Wow. You, sir, are one of the chosen ones.
Yes.
Played Kayak and RE8. The haptics and the headset sense are amazing. The shotgun and
people
Evil
sleeping
8
on that Kayak,
blowing.
bro. I'm on that Kayak.
Downloading HDZ, Call of the Mountain at the moment, man. You enjoy that because you are one of the chosen ones. But yo, Jay Barry, do you know when this is going to stores? Because I really
tomorrow.
I'm not feeling like I don't like to buy like consoles and like I don't mind a game or controller, but I'm not all my consoles that I ever bought, all the major purchases in gaming I bought, I got it from the store. I walk in a store.
Okay, you want like the extra warranty?
Yeah, no, not just that. I want to get into PX tax free.
He's old school gamer.
Tax
wants to go there and be like, hey.
No, I want my tax free benefits.
Got you. Oh, so the PlayStation Direct store, I think the reason why they're only doing it in the Direct, I think it's going to be until like next month where VR2 is going to be available to stores, but they don't want the whole the bots eyeing up.
I got it. You know what? I see what the whole the scalpers. The scalpers. Good.
Yeah, because
I completely forgot about that.
Everything is under your PSN or is under your address, so they know. Like, if this person got like 10 VRs, now we can cut that. Like, no, one per address or something like that.
Got it. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Unless we want to finish.
Can I finish up on some thoughts on the Call of Duty thing?
Of course.
Thank you. So, I will say this: Activision has had the longest time to be able to put Call of Duty on the Switch, and they just simply refuse to do it, and we know why. It's the power, and they're like, it's not worth it. So at the end of the day, yes, Activision is the one who's holding up a Switch version of Call of Duty. But I will say this though, because it seems like Activision has no intention to create Switch versions of Call of Duty outside of this Microsoft deal, I will say that the fact that there's now an agreement in place to go make Call of Duty on Switch It is essentially making it possible. And again, possible includes all of the means by which it has to come. Like you have to, Activision or Microsoft would have to agree to do it, and then they have to go execute. So versus in the current state, it's a no-go. So I will say that is a benefit of this merger, even though I don't personally want this merger to happen. I would prefer the industry to stay as is. But I will just say this: they would be expanding the platform it's coming to.
I have a question for you, Project. Do you know that Activision is already making a studio to make Call of Duty games for the Switch?
But I'm saying,
they're already making a studio for that.
They were already.
Okay. Yeah, they are already. They're doing it now. So I just wanted to ask because they don't own Call of Duty right now, but do you feel like Microsoft had that influence to make them to have them do that, or do you think that was already in the cards?
Well, whatever the facts are, whatever the facts. I mean, my speculation would be that this deal has something like that through a little bit, but the fact that they have not been on Nintendo platforms for, honestly,
it's a Wii, basically. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And
even those games you had different versions of Call of Duty.
I think Wii U was on there. I think that was
Ghost was on the Wii U.
Yeah. Here's my thing, because you said that it benefits everything, but here's the thing: does it really? What if the only reason this is happening now is because Microsoft is using Nintendo as a
leverage,
not sure. They're not actually genuine in putting the game on Nintendo. They're just using Nintendo as a way to show, no, we're gonna put our games. Everybody, hey, look at us. We're putting games everywhere. See, Nintendo. But as we can see, Microsoft, in terms of decision making and game development, they pretty much sucked. And this could be just another, they could be that one developer in Activision that's gonna be like, oh my god, I cannot believe these stupid.
I'll say this.
I'm saying there could be developers in Activision right now that are like, oh my god, these stupid ass suits don't know what they're asking, all because they want to buy Activision. Now they're going to put us in a position where this is a bad idea. If this was a good idea, we would have done it already. Because you see a lot of developers advocate to put games on more platforms if they know they can, right? So what if, the reason why Activision didn't do it...
Basically, you're saying is, what if the quality of Call of Duty suffers because of this?
Yeah, beyond that. What if this is just a straight... this is just a straight bad deal, which is the reason why Activision didn't do it. Because the developers listen, if we're going to push Call of Duty, take advantage of the hardware... Switch is not in the. It's just the development can help. Remember, Switch is not like Nintendo makes their products. I don't want to use the word cater because maybe cater's too strong, but it's not like they put third-party developers in consideration. Nintendo's like, this is our box, this is our development kits. You either make games for us or you don't. We don't care. We don't need you. We don't care. Crazy. They're like, oh, but if you do this, no, we're not doing that because we don't want to. Oh, well, but what if you did?
I think Project Cloud is correct, though.
What?
I think Project Cloud is correct in them having a Switch version, basically, or a Nintendo version on the cards. I feel like the reason why they haven't pulled the trigger, because, like I said, they can just make the Call of Duty Mobile that's already out on phones, make it work on the Switch. But I feel like they're waiting for the next generation of the Switch hardware to push the console versions onto that, because they don't want to alienate the Switch user base, because if they put Call of Duty Mobile right now on the Switch, whenever the Switch 2 comes out that can handle Call of Duty, now people are like, wait, do I play this or do I play mobile? Like, what's going on here? I think that's what's going on.
The Switch is literally, it's the benefit and yet the downfall of Nintendo, and I'm just saying that as a term. Because Nintendo, everyone is going to want the next Nintendo to at least be able to do dock or hold in my hand. And honestly, they're going more towards holding in your hand all the time. That's really what the Switch is for, I think, probably most people. I'd be the person that would want it docked personally. I'm not handheld gaming, no thank you. But it's interesting to have if you are in the right situation where if you're a bus gamer or you have a long trip, great. Assuming you're not the one driving. So, because basically the handheld is now the default for Nintendo, Yeah, that kind of handicaps them from ever being able to compete with Xbox or PlayStation, which is what I want them to do. I want
that's
them
long gone.
give
I
you
can say
something
that.
that's going to be, it'd be better than the PS5.
So I could
You know
tell
what I mean? That's what I want.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You're not the
I
only-
have something
a
to
lot of
add.
people
Something to add. The
want
mobile
that.
chips on phones and stuff have evolved off a frick ton in the past few years. So like, there's phones right now that have as much teraflops on them as a PS4. Like, and it's not the latest and greatest models of those phones. So the Snapdragons that are out right now on this brand new
Listen, guys,
Samsung
can we stop
are already
with teraflop?
more powerful than the
Teraflops mean
PS4.
nothing.
So
They mean
it's-
nothing.
I'm just,
Like-
it's just a matter of like putting it into perspective. Those phones can handle. There's phones already that can play Switch games at 60 frames per second on the brand new emulator that just came out. Like the phones are already doing that. So whenever that new Switch comes out, the power that it's gonna have for a mobile chip, plus stuff like DLSS and Reflex that Nvidia will probably support on it, it'll make the Switch to a really good console. It's not the same as it coming out 2 or 3 years ago, where the chips on those phones or whatever they could produce, it's not as good. Now they are really good.
I'm gonna go back and back up Porter Rock. Listen, Activision is a greedy company. If they could have made even, 1% more money from putting Call of Duty on the Switch, they would have done it already. So
Facts.
this thing that Microsoft is trying to make happen here cannot be good for Activision's own plans, because they will not have left. Like, it's not like the Switch just came out and then they sold 100 million overnight, and then Activision was just like, well, we don't know what happened. Everybody saw the Switch. Everybody knows how massive a success it is, how big the install base. Activision would have loved to sell Call of Duty to the Switch players.
Switch, yeah, exactly. It's not like Switch success is a secret. We see the game.
Exactly.
So like,
exactly.
If anything, if there was even, like he said, a 10% increase in profits, they would have done it.
Easy,
And
easy.
they
It's a bit like when people say Game Pass and subscription models are successful, and I'm like, okay, but then in the same breath, you accuse Sony of only wanting profit. So if this was a successful model, they would have been the ones to do it. It's like,
Yes.
the very fact that they haven't done it proves to you what you need to know. Call of Duty on Switch is a bad idea. It just is. If it wasn't, it would have been done. Subscription service with day-and-date games that are premium AAA quality, bad idea. If it wasn't,
Everybody
Sony
would be doing
Nintendo
it.
would have done it.
Listen,
It's that simple. Like,
everybody in the industry would have jumped on Game Pass. EA,
Easy.
Ubisoft, Rockstar, they would have been like, "Yo, they're right. Microsoft's right. This is the new wave. We're putting Grand Theft Auto 6 day one. We're doing it." But no one's
You
really
guys are
doing
right.
that. No one's.
You guys are right, because EA and Rockstar themselves said that they don't really like putting their games on subscription models. They don't think it's profitable. Like,
and
those
EA
two
has
guys
their
said
own
it.
subscription service, so it's like,
Yeah.
if this was the way of the future, everybody would have done it in the past. It's that simple. Like, so when we
Yeah.
talk about these things, we have to just look around and be like, what's the reality now? And who do we trust to actually want and desire the most money? EA is a greedy company. They've got FIFA, they've got microtransactions, they've got loot boxes. Activision, exact same thing. Rockstar with GTA, they would have just put that shit GTA for free everywhere on every subscription service on the planet. They will just be like, yep, there you go, that's it. But they didn't, and the fact that they didn't means that it just doesn't make money. That's it. Microsoft is coming in and then trying to put, I don't know, it's like trying to lie to you. Like, what you know isn't what you know, and it's like, no, this is a bad idea. It doesn't matter. We can discuss how bad the idea is, but we should never even think that's a good idea in the first place.
Shout out to J Dub. Happy birthday, my brother. He says, Craig, this bourbon is good. Barry, P-Rock, love you guys. Love you too, brother. Man, enjoy your birthday. Happy 75th birthday. We're proud of you.
Happy 100th birthday.
shout out to J Dub, man. Eat the tomahawk, bro. Don't get the little steak.
Get that golden joint. Get that golden joint.
Oh shit! All right, let's move on to the next topic, and I'll kick it off with Jay Barry. Showcase. Not even a showcase. State of play. PlayStation announced they're having their state of play. About a 15-minute, I guess, preview. Suicide Squad. I give that game 2 years before they shut it down. Some indies, PSVR. Let me know what you think. Like, what's your feels about this announcement? What are you looking forward to?
If you want the full breakdown as far as what they're going to be showing at the showcase. The Japanese blog got it fully covered, so it's going to be 45 minutes where they're going to be introducing 16 new titles for PlayStation 5, 4, and VR. So 5 of those we know is going to be for PlayStation VR2 that's coming out later in the year. And one of those is going to be a 15-minute demo of the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So that means there's going to be 10 other games that are going to have mixed with third-party and, indie type games being showcased there. So yeah, like over the top prediction or wants, I want to see a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
Would it possibly be there? I'm not sure, but I would. It's normally a state of play would show, a Final Fantasy trailer because our remake was actually reintroduced at state of play. So, it's possible that's being there or, a 16 trailer. I want to see the release date. Hopefully they got a new trailer or something with Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Ooh, okay. That's the RPG one, right?
Yeah, that's the RPG one. Because we need our release date for that. The Pixel remasters, we need a release date for that. Little Devil Inside, we haven't seen that game for like a good year. The last state of play, it didn't show. We didn't hear from that game for like a year and a half. You know what I mean? It's supposed to come out last year, but never heard anything from it. Third party wise, I'm not too sure. Hopefully they can surprise us. I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna have a good, healthy amount of indie games there. And probably like 3 or 4, like probably bigger third party games, possibly Pragmata, Resident Evil 4, announcing a demo or VR for that. And for VR, maybe a lot of people are anticipating like Half-Life Alyx.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? If that game comes,
man.
it comes.
That would be great.
But we'll see.
That would be great.
It's a third party game.
I don't
It's
see
made
why
by
they
Valve.
couldn't do it.
Do you think Valve will do it? Because Game Newell doesn't
Yeah.
really like PlayStation like that.
I think so. He didn't like PlayStation 3, and he still did Portal 2 because Sony was like, "Motherfucker, here's my bag of money. Make the game on PlayStation."
But they don't need the
And
same
he-
amount of money as they did back then.
They don't, but Valve doesn't really care about VR like that. If you look at people that focus on Valve content, like you would know that they don't really care that much. Otherwise, we would have a index to a sequel to Half-Life Alyx already. We still don't have that because they just take their time, Valve time. But I definitely see Half-Life Alyx coming to PlayStation if either Valve wants it because they're just like, hey, let's just bring it to this powerful console, or Sony's like, hey, put this badass game on our platform. Here's some money.
Yeah, all the major big like VR PC, games that Oculus or Valve or HEC or all the bigger headsets had, whatever storefronts had, they're coming to PlayStation VR too.
To put into perspective as well, Sony has been scratching Valve's back really, really well this past year with all their games coming to Steam Deck and having Steam Deck support. So I could see in good faith even Valve having a PSVR version of Half-Life Alyx just for that.
Honestly, it will surprise me, but you're probably right.
It would be great because it's a really good game. It's a fantastic game. It's one of the few games that really immerses you, like truly immerses you. Like I was swinging my arms, reloading weapons and shit, as if like I was actually holding the gun, and then I realized it. I'm like, what the? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of things that I saw for Half-Life Alyx, the same things you do in Blood and Truth. So that's what I would want them to do for VR2 is do a PlayStation VR2 version of Blood and Truth. Because a lot of people praise Half-Life Alyx, but when I watch the gameplay,
Blood and Truth
I'm like, this is Blood and Truth. That's on a higher, more expensive hardware. You know what I mean?
Blood and Truth was good. Yeah. It did. Blood and Truth got a PS5 upgrade. I just didn't play it yet. I'm waiting for the PSVR2. Did they confirm
I need that PSVR2.
Because
they haven't said nothing before.
Oh man, they got to. That game was good, man. That game is good. All right. So So are you done, Jay Barry? You hit your notes?
I'm done.
All right. Anybody else? We'll start with Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
What you got going? What you think? What you think about the state of play? Looking forward to anything?
It's going to be exactly what Sony said it is. I don't look at it any further than that. I think it's good that they're going to. I think since Resident Evil is slated to come out in March, maybe we get confirmation because there was talk, that there was a VR support coming. maybe they, I think Jay Barr talked about it. Maybe they kind of touch up on that since they have said they're going to have VR support. Yeah, I'm excited to see some of the newer games from their smaller, indie guys. Yeah, he brought up Little Devil Inside, and but again, I'm not caught up in the whole. They need to show this, and this. They're going to show exactly what they put an itinerary on, and be done with it. You know, and the Suicide Squad game, it does look rough, my understanding, but it's an interesting concept because that if this game comes out and it does well, this is what everybody who has been following the DC stuff. That's what they want on the big screen. They at the movie theater. They want to see the Justice League take on the Suicide Squad. So, we'll
ain't nobody want to see that shit.
Yeah, they do.
Ain't nobody want to see that bullshit.
Yes, they do.
Ain't nobody want to see no goddamn Captain Boomerang on a goddamn big screen. That movie tickets are like $30. I ain't paying no goddamn $30 for King Shark and Captain Boomerang. Stop it, Craig. Ain't nobody want to see that shit.
See, King Shark.
They should do Legion of Doom, not this suicide bullshit.
They can leave that. Yeah, well, that could be part of it too.
Yeah, it's trash. Yeah, I'm gonna pay. Yeah, can you imagine live on IMAX and you see Captain Boomerang? Ain't nobody trying to reserve seating for his ass. Get out of here.
It was such a header.
Get out of here. What a corny ass shark.
Yeah, what pain?
He's just mad he doesn't know how to use a boomerang. That's all.
Yeah.
Golly,
That's just actually fun. Putting Boomerang. That's actually fun.
I think. So I think what will make or break that game for me is just the gameplay.
They could have had Reverse Flash.
I keep telling P-Rock.
Sinestro. They gave me goddamn a dude that throws off his superpower is a boomerang, and people have the nerve.
The best character. He about to be the best character.
I know, right?
They have the nerve to complain about Batman not having superpowers. This dude throws a boomerang. Like, yo. Get out of here.
Wait. If you hate him that much, what about Harley Quinn? She does gymnastics.
It's his accuracy.
This is accuracy.
No, listen.
And Harley Quinn has no power, but yeah.
Exactly. She's like gymnastics. That's what she is.
But she's fine
Harley Quinn is just a psycho.
Oh, right.
But she's fine as fuck.
Okay.
All right.
She's got the 5 factor.
That's it.
For all the simps out there, maybe she does.
That's right.
Listen, yo, P-Rock, I'm in total agreement with you that I don't want to play a Suicide game. But
it's okay to simp for Harley. It's okay. You can simp for Harley Quinn. That's okay. No one will judge you. But what you said, Jay Barry?
I'm totally with you, as far as like.
It's like
in a Suicide Squad game.
It should have been Legion of Doom.
I don't want to play it.
It should have been Legion of Doom.
It looks cool so far.
It should have been Legion of Doom versus the Justice League.
That's what they were leading up to. They had Deathstroke.
They're gonna be DLC characters for like $50.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, but I'm not expecting anything outside of that.
Jay Barr, you know, I'm not. You know, I'm telling the truth. They're gonna have Reverse Flash for like $25.
Listen, you already said it. You already said it before we went into it. This game is going to die in about a year or two.
Avengers, we were talking about Avengers and that shit. Literally that same thing. We were talking about Avengers on a podcast, right? And Persona was on it. You and Persona was on it. And you're like, yo, the game's good. Yo, the next day, hey, we shutting down the servers. I was like, holy shit. I knew it was
I
bad.
really like those games, but this community.
I knew it was bad.
I have a bad notion. You have a bad taste with those games.
So. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was like, shut this shit down, man. I was like, even I didn't predict that. I thought it was just gonna have the same 10,000 people playing this shit. Not even that.
Oh no, they're not shutting it down. There's just no more new content.
Nothing. No, so you might as well shut the shit down. Like what?
The server's still going. Like Babylon Fall, that's a shutdown. The server is actually going to still be up for eventually.
Avengers. What it is, the server's up, but they're leaving the room and turning the lights off. And like, hey, if the service runs, it runs. If it dies, it dies.
Y'all man your own shit.
I don't know what to tell y'all. But hey, I don't know. Hey, I don't wish any game to fail. I don't wish any game to fail. Because you got real people behind it, and you got developers that genuinely even if you sit back and you look at them like really, bro, they still, for whatever reason, thought they try to bring out something good for the gamers, right? So you got like no developer, at least I hope not, is trying to make a game to piss us off. I would like to think at least every developer honestly thought that whatever game they were making, they thought it was going to be fun, enjoyable, and gamers going to enjoy it, right? I don't think a gamer's going to be like, all right, guys, let's create a game that's really going to piss off Call Me Jay today. Who has ideas? Who has ideas? Hey, let's make a game that's going to piss off Project Cloud. Give me some ideas. You know, I'm pretty sure they want every single game. I would think that a developer's like, you know, genuinely wants to make a good game, right? But like, yo, if I was in this boardroom, I would be like, $70, you know, King Shark. Like, are we reading the room wrong? Like, you know, why not do Legion of Doom versus the Justice League? That way we can use characters like Reverse Flash, you know, Lex Luthor, you know, guys who are really, you know, we're not gonna give them Green Lantern. Then fine, give them Sinestro. Like, give them the opposite. You know, give them the true. Give them the true bad guys. You could say the same thing about
Guardians of the Galaxy.
What happened?
You could have said the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Yeah. And they did a great game. So for me, I was actually looking forward to this game because I'm like, listen, I never thought I wanted to play as a Guardians, but here's a product, here's in front of me. It looks cool. I played it. And when it came to Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, not my favorite people. I don't know anything about them, but it looks cool. I'll play it. And then they said it might be gas. And I was like, nope.
It sucks, but it could be good.
It could be good, but it sucks anyway.
You know,
if a game gets marketed as a gas game, that actually means dies in 2 years. So expect it to die in 2 years.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why Extreme is defending this game is because Captain Boomerang is Australian. I see right through you, bro.
Shit.
I ain't stupid.
And I like Boomerang.
I am not. Yeah, I know. I'm not stupid, bro. The one Australian dude is capping for this game. Right? Up until he found out it was gas. I
always thought boomerangs were exclusive to this land, and then I always just thought I would like to go there one day. So then, you know, obviously that dream came true. It's cool. It's cool. But also, it's a gas game, so I can't cap for it because you know gas games suck.
But it could be good. It sucks.
I'm on the same page as Extreme. I'm on the same page as Extreme. I don't really know much of these characters. I don't really care for them. I'm not really that interested. But Rocksteady hasn't really made a bad game in a long time.
But here,
they haven't made a bad game.
No, but listen.
What will make or break it is the gameplay. If from this state of play they show gameplay and it looks like freaking, like some garbage ass game, like the trailer for what's that, Gotham Knights? Yeah. If it looks like that on the trailers, then I'm like, okay, I'm good because I actually played Gotham Knights and it was pretty cool.
Rocksteady had an advantage. You know what their advantage was?
What?
They used the goddamn Batman. How can you fuck up Batman? It's Batman. They use Batman. Like, yo, that's like a huge advantage, bro. It's like, yo, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, right now.
Yeah, but those developers, half of their lives have been Batman, and that's it.
All right. So before Batman, what game did Rocksteady make?
I don't think they made big games before that. It was just Arkham.
You know what I'm saying?
No one cares.
Yeah, like the main thing what I'm trying to say is, like, we finally are getting AAA, you know, at least close to Game of the Year level. Some of these games are Game of the Year competitors, at least nomination, competing type games. When before, you know, comics were just throwaway cash grabs. That's how gaming industry treated these games. Throwaway cash grabs. You know, just use the name. Don't really put efforts. Maybe you created a new studio and you want to give them some raps. Hey, go make a Spider-Man game until, you know.
Yeah, there were like two good Batman games before Rocksteady came in. It was Batman Revenge on PS2 and then the Batman movie for the Dark Knight Rises. That was it. The other one sucked.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So now that we see the blueprint, like Rocksteady created the blueprint, right? And then Insomniac came in, Hold My Beer. And now we're like, holy shit, yo, you can make comic games that rival the Last of Us, that rivals the Halos, that rival the Gears, that rival GTAs, like these big blockbuster 10, 20 million selling titles. Well, we want to see that with the Punisher. Like, yo, imagine the Flash, yo, imagine Wonder Woman, imagine the Hulk, imagine, yo, there's so many characters down, like how many characters are on the list before you reach Captain Boomerang? Like, how many characters are above him that people want to see across the board? Like, literally hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, he bypassed, like, yo, how did you get in front of ahead of the line? Like, yo, whose man is this? Yo, it's crazy. Like, wait a minute, how did this guy skip? Like, who skipped all the, like, this dude skipped Green Lantern, he skipped The Flash, I'm like, he skipped Martian Manhunter, I'm like, hey, yo, like, who gave this guy head of the line privileges? Like,
trying to be obscure, man, and they made Boomerang look cool.
Oh, shout out
about to be in there, P. Rock. We in there day one, man.
No, I'm waiting. Yo, listen, call me when they have Reverse Flash DLC. Then I'll see you. Then I'll jump on board. I ain't playing at no goddamn Boomerang. I'm sure as hell. Maybe Deadshot. That's about it. That's probably who I'll play. Because I definitely refuse to play as no goddamn shark. You know what I'm saying? Nah, son. No.
Well, you want to bite people as a shark?
No way. What does he do? What's he gonna do in game?
Well,
he talks funny.
Yeah, he's a king shark.
He starts flopping on the floor.
Yeah,
like you're saying, he's gonna run around and like bite people.
Yeah,
he's gonna give Kirby his pants because Kirby ain't got no pants.
He gonna be like the tank character.
Like if King Shark steps in front of Superman, like what's he gonna do? Like it's like chewing a brick. Like what's he gonna do? Like there's nothing to do.
That's the point of the Suicide Squad. It's like impossible missions.
Like man, it's like what's gonna be impossible is this game being relevant. That's the impossible mission. Yo. Anyway, let's move down.
Such a hit.
Yo, that's the impossible mission. Having this game last more than 2 years, bro.
Personally, I'm with you. I don't want a Suicide Squad game, but like from what I've seen so far,
the game is pretty
cool.
It's all you can do. Yeah. We get what we can get.
The game isn't called Suicide Squad. It's called that's the development team. Rocksteady changed their names to Suicide Squad because they're making an impossible game.
Suicide developer. This might be the last game they get to make. Like if this shit don't.
No. Microsoft will buy them. If this doesn't work, Microsoft will get them real quick.
They better put this shit day one on Game Pass. I'm telling you. All right, hey, who else got an opinion on State of Play?
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's going to be cool. I have no expectations whatsoever. And I want to see if this Rocksteady game is going to be games as a service at all. Because if it is not, I will buy it. If it is in any way, shape, or form, I will not.
Well, so if it's more like
already confirmed,
let's say I think
gives a service.
No, not really. That was just a leak. They might have. That probably is an old build.
So what you hoping for? If it's more like more like Guardian of the Galaxies type game where it's multiple characters that you can switch in.
Yeah, if it's Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm in there, easy, done. If it is any aspect like we'll bring you characters on a season pass, battle pass, loot boxes, microtransactions,
hero
blah
pass,
blah.
villain
I'm
pass.
out.
You get villain pass.
Done.
It's gonna be Avengers, or it's gonna be like Avengers, right? And each character has their own season pass. So you gotta pay $10 per character.
And then there are loot boxes that will give you random season passes.
You didn't have to buy no character.
Avengers had a lot of content at launch. I give them that.
Come on, Jabari, defend Avengers first, once more.
Listen, Avengers.
It's not defend. I mean, if you
play
the game, you didn't have to buy any characters.
Yeah, there was a lot of you didn't buy characters. They mostly sold suits and weird shit, right?
It's like costumes.
Yeah, costumes. Like I said, the main thing about Avengers, my biggest pet peeve for Avengers, I mean, besides the content, was just the impact of the characters. I just didn't see it. You could just pick anybody and just whatever.
I agree. I agree. And a good campaign. I enjoyed
the campaign was all right.
Yeah, I thought it would rival the Guardian story. I thought the Guardian story was a little better.
Guardian of the Galaxy, I enjoyed. I love Guardian of the Galaxy.
Y'all gotta stop this notion that you think that every games as a service is trying to nickel and dime you with microtransactions.
But that's literally the entire point of them.
That's not true.
It's literally the entire point.
I disagree.
It's literally the entire point. It's why
you don't need to buy the microtransactions.
What do you consider a gas game, Extreme? What does it have to have?
Okay, so gas game needs to have some kind of monetization.
I think we did.
Here we go.
This is deja vu. That's how the question. That's how the question starts.
Wait, Jay, He's going to give you a long answer. He's not going to answer.
Yeah, that's why I want to retract my question.
Oh my God.
If it has
he's gonna take.
I literally had 3 points.
Hey, he's gonna
Okay,
take
just
the
get 3
long
points,
route,
that's
and
it.
we're still not at the destination.
Okay, all right, 3 points, real
Okay,
easy.
okay,
It's gotta have some kind of monetization.
He said, what is the extreme nickel and dime? And a simple question.
Well, are you gonna let me answer? Or are you interested in answering for me?
Okay, here we go.
I know you can't find an answer. That's why.
Okay, all right. So you want to answer for me?
I'm
go ahead,
very
Extreme.
interested. Go ahead, Extreme.
All right, there we go. Okay, number 1, it's gotta have some kind of extra monetization besides you just purchasing the game. Number 2, it's going to sell you some kind of costumes or other kind of cosmetics in order to justify you purchasing things. And then number 3, it's got to have some kind of extreme grind in order for you to be pushed towards that monetization model. That's it. That's all.
That's not answering. his
Okay,
question,
now
though.
can you give me? Okay, first of all, I just wanna help you a little bit because the first 2 points are very similar, so I think they're pretty much the same. So you had 2 points.
No, because the thing is, you can sell other things besides cosmetics. So that was my point. It's just like cosmetics is a staple. Yeah.
So can you give me one game that is so grindy that it's basically forcing you to buy like stuff from the store to progress through the game easier or something like that? Like a recent game that's popular right now.
There is no game that forces you to do anything, right?
Oh my God.
But it shoves you, like it entices you towards the systems. For example, take FIFA. That's a super popular game. And if you want to play the Ultimate Team mode, you will struggle.
Anomaly though. I'm just gonna stop you right there. If sports gamers are an anomaly, like
Oh,
people
my
from
God.
that community.
You just literally told me to tell you a popular game right now.
Yeah, but like I know, and that's a really good point. But it's like saying Nintendo something about Nintendo. Like it's not really something you can bring up because
My
it's an
God.
anomaly. The community for those games just buy whatever the frick comes out.
Okay,
I was thinking
fair
more
enough.
so like a shooter like Apex Legends, for example, or an MMO maybe. Division 2, for example. Division 2 has a storefront that you can buy cosmetics.
So you
but,
want
like,
to take
can
the
just-
examples that you want, even though you asked me to provide the example. Okay.
Okay,
Then
well,
just say your example.
Let's just say you're correct. Then FIFA has the ultimate teams, and you got to buy cards with real money to progress and get
Yeah.
better. Otherwise, you got to grind a lot.
Yeah.
I also
You
say
basically can't win
is
without
it-
them.
I would say also it's not recent,
Oh,
but
that's the mode, though.
what was
That's
it?
a mode.
What was it? The Lord of the Rings. Fuck. what was it?
Shadow of War? Or is that
Shadow
the one
War,
you're talking
the
about?
second one.
Oh,
that was bad.
That was a single player.
I know, but that shit was bad. I was like,
That was
oh shit! Like you,
Yo, Pete,
you
right,
needed
you contradicted his point
listen,
of a gas game.
yeah.
That's a single player game.
I know,
Hey,
but
hey,
they
listen, I
took a
didn't
single
bring
play
up this
game and
example.
turned it into gas. Because I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that you needed extreme
When-
discipline not to buy
When
shit.
Shadow of
bro.
War came out, it was really bad.
Whoa.
Like everything was on the store basically.
Yo, that shit
It was
bad.
pretty bad.
They were like, they took single player gas. Yo, I was like, yo, this is a grind. But guess what? I did.
All I'm saying is
I
that
held the
majority
line.
of the gas,
I held the line.
majority of the gas games that's out there, the microtransactions is mostly that's cosmetic
Cosmetics, yeah.
stuff. It's not like you necessarily have to buy this to do
Agreed.
good in the game and all that stuff. That's why
Yeah, but
a
the
lot
thing
of
is,
people don't
like,
have that.
a game
they-
isn't just like the gameplay, like when you're in the match. It is how you look, it's how your character feels. It's so many things besides just the gameplay elements themselves.
That's a discipline. That's a discipline problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, those things used to be part of like just the experience when you bought the game. Like I remember Battlefield Bad Company 2. You had like dog tags. I love the dog tag system. There were like hundreds of these things. If they did it nowadays, I couldn't trust them to just be like, hey, you bought the product, so we gave you the same dog tags or the same amount. It would be like, okay, cool, in this season, you have this dog tag, you know, and then in this battle pass, there's 5 over 50 levels or whatever. It's just like we used to get all of these as part of the package, even in multiplayer games. So when I say I hate gas games and the nickel and dime, is because they took things that used to be just part of the package, and then they made it like, oh well, listen, you can look like a standard person, and you don't have to give us any
I
money.
agree with some of that. I
But
do agree
now,
with some of that.
if you
The
want
thing
the
is,
cosmetics you used to get, now it's like, oh well, now you have to join the battle pass or the season pass.
The
So
thing
the
is,
micro
a lot of
it's
people.
just
There's a lot of people that don't really play the game complaining about having to buy stuff because majority of these games, if you play it, you can grind out and you can get those things.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
the
mean?
grind even now is like 10 times what it used to be. Like,
Nah, I wouldn't.
I disagree.
I'm not saying that it's not there, but not necessarily. I don't agree with. Yeah,
I feel like the grind, like the word grind, the term grind got just like exacerbated a lot throughout the years because games right now, like COD, for example, they're not really grindy. You're just playing the game normally. You're putting the same amount of time that you would put up on Modern Warfare 2 back in the day to just unlock stuff. Now, if you like how your character looks like on a first-person shooter, I don't know why you would. Then yes, I can see the battle pass being kind of a grind just to get tokens and unlock skins. But like, if you can't see the character, then why does it really matter? That's just discipline. Like you're just.
And if you're doing well, you're going to earn those things faster. Because I didn't buy not one thing yet in Modern Warfare 2.
So,
but guys, I appreciate that your experience is what it is, and that you guys have the discipline, and you know that you don't care about this, you don't care about that. But then the rest of us actually do care about skins and the way that we look.
I would say this. The grinds I hate, the grinds I no longer am able to tolerate. I just don't have it in me. Like in Destiny 2, right? I recently bought like Beyond Light and all that, and I try to get back in it, right? And to progress the story, sometimes you have to do moon patrols and you have to do 5 moon patrol missions. And I can't do that no more. Like, I can't. Like I stopped. That made me stop playing again. Like, I don't have the tolerance. Like, if you're going to tell me, like, I get the whole grinding to get artifacts and all this, fine. But if I have to advance the story and you're going to make me do these stupid moon patrols, like, just to do filler, I can't, bro. Like that's actually a good point. I spent all the money and I can't get back into this shit.
I'm not gonna say that this is every gas game, but like daily challenges are annoying. Daily challenges are the worst, man.
Like I can't do those things.
It's so annoying.
Throw 5 grenades and get 10 of these hits, and then 10 headshots of this. I can't do that no more, bro. Like
that's why I stopped playing Halo, because it's like everything the progression in Halo is just a battle pass. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll just play the game then. And like, no, you can't just play the game. You gotta go play Slayer, right? But we're not gonna give you the playlist for it. It gotta be randomly given to you because it's just quick play. You gotta jump into Slayer and kill people with a pistol, and then melee them to finish them off. That's impossible. Everybody's aware.
I hate that shit.
And that's another tactic that games use, to incentivize you to go to the store.
That's padding. That's just padding the gameplay length for no reason, bro. Like, that's tedious as hell. Like, I can't do that. I can't do it.
Listen, I don't hate every gas game. It's just that gas as a model to create a game around is always problematic to me. Like, we talked about it last time. There are gas games that I enjoy. But you know what? The gas elements of those games are the things I like the least. So I love World Company, but I hate the fact that no matter how good I do, I get the same amount of experience or progression as a person on my team that did the least. Games didn't used to be like that. You used to be like rewarded for being like the MVP of the match or whatever. But nowadays, it's like, no, we want to cap your progress through the battle pass or the season pass or just random character progression. So now we have all of these things, whether they're daily challenges, whether there are other like objectives or weekly objectives or seasonal objectives, even depending on the game that you're playing, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. So now in order to make real progress, I have to completely alter my playstyle, because what you said before, where it's like the grind is just part of the gameplay. In many games, it's not. You have to do these extra things if you really want to see progress, and those things sometimes are not fun.
No, they're never fun. I agree with you on that part. Like, if you have to go out of your way to do other stuff instead of just playing the game, then I agree with that. That grind in particular sucks. But if you're just playing the game and you're just getting rewarded, then I don't really care.
But that's what we love. Right? We love games. Like, grind is part of gaming, so it's like that's the grind I like. I like to just be able to play. I played 100 matches, and then out of at the end of that, I got a sizable amount of progression. Like, that's it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look at like special objectives or mini missions or whatever they will decorate them as. So that's it. That's my gripe with and that they want money.
Shout out to X-Hawk. X-Hawk's like, because I told him, hey, X-Hawk, stop punishing yourself. Just get a PS5. Stop fucking around. Yeah. You're doing too much, right? And he says, yeah, but what if Forza Motorsport and Starfield are amazing, bro? Listen, this is the obvious. Microsoft's gonna release like a game every 3 years. Get the Xbox Series X in 2026. By that point, they would have released everything, and you don't have to deal with this annual if Xbox gonna have games. Get us PS5, PS5 has games now. In 2026, you get your Xbox Series X, and you sign up for Game Pass, and you can play every title within the first 2-3 months. Bro.
Yep.
Stop punishing yourselves, bro. Now, I'm not saying don't get the Xbox Series X. Get that shit in 2025 and 2026. By then, if Microsoft has not figured this shit out, by then, you'll know. If it's 2026 and we still talking like, yo, where the goddamn games? Bro.
By 2026, those games will be on the Nintendo Switch, as they have said. So you don't even need it then. So I just wanted to clarify that for the people listening.
And even his statement, what if? Okay, that's fine. The problem isn't the Xbox. The problem is you not accepting what your fate is.
Might not be around by then.
Yeah,
hey, listen.
It may not be, but
listen.
They're amazing. That's great news.
Listen, I'm like Scarface. I never fucked over a dude that didn't have it coming to him. I'm not trying to screw you over, bro. Alright? Just get a PlayStation and, be done with the nonsense. So anybody, final thoughts on PlayStation Showcase? Me personally, I'll just make my quick note. I'm just going to wait till after the show to watch it, so that way I can fast forward. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of shit I don't want to see.
And then you can watch it in 4K.
That's just about it. And then I can watch it in 4K too. So that's
smart.
That's any other comments? No? So we'll talk about the last topic. I know we don't have it, but thoughts on PSVR and maybe anything you've seen on the internet, the criticisms, who's getting it? Say I'm going to get it, but I'm going to wait till it goes in stores.
That's why I am.
I'm not doing the Sony
PSVR. The general thoughts that I have on PSVR2, I'm personally not going to get it because I don't even own a PS5 to begin with. I just have my PC and my Quest 2, and that's it. I don't really need it. But
now, what if
how do you not have a PS5? Don't you like yourself?
Oh shit!
No, actually, I hate myself, bro. I'm subscribed to Game Pass.
Clearly you do.
No, for real. Like, what I really want PlayStation VR2 to do, and it has a really big chance of doing,
it's not coming on PC. It's not coming on PC.
No, PC, not that.
PC,
No.
PC port beggars. Now
listen. What I really hope. What I hope they do is what the PC VR should have done, and that is deliver high quality AAA games, which the PC never did. Because
buy PSVR2 and then find out.
He wants to wait first.
I'm gonna wait, like to see what's gonna happen, because
you see,
majority of the games. Listen, I really like racing games, just not simulators. I'm good, and I have like 3 games on Steam right now I can play in VR that are simulators, and have mod support. So they may not be as good or as polished as GT7, but I can do way more stuff on those games.
I always love PC gamers. They're like, hey, listen, I spent $5,000 for my thing, but listen, my expenses are not as good as yours.
I'm saying you didn't pay that much.
I'm fine with first-rate hardware, second-rate software. I love it.
Listen, majority of the games coming out on PSVR2 right now on launch, I already have them on PC and on my Quest, so I can play those games already. It doesn't matter what the majority are. You buy.
I
already have those exclusives.
Games. What about GT7? You got GT7? No, you don't.
I'm telling you,
you got Call of the Mountain? Yeah. You got Call of the Mountain?
I have 4 GT7s already on PC. I'm good, okay? I'll buy it if there's something that I really want to get on there. What I want is for PSVR to really push the high quality of VR forwards, because PC never did, and the Quest isn't really a high-end device to play high-end games. It just plays games. So I really hope Sony
PC is never going to push gaming forward, because there is no one that is a custodian of the PC gaming side. Like, there is no one that really needs to make the money on PC.
That doesn't matter.
Well,
there's many things that people on console have because they started on PC. Shooter started on PC. Online gaming started on PC. Ray tracing,
we do it better than
image reconstruction. Nope, wrong.
Absolutely wrong. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely wrong.
I'm telling you, there's
having multimedia on your console, that was a PC thing. There's so many things that Battle Royales, for example. Battle Royale started on PC and then they went to consoles.
That was like I'm
not saying that you guys don't make contributions. I'm saying that you guys are just never top tier. Like, that's all. Like, you keep buying all of these expensive ass hardware.
Give an example.
Okay, give me a game on PC that looks as good as The Last of Us Part 2. PS4.
Easy.
Go. You're saying contributions. Okay. Yeah, like I don't have a game that looks as good.
There you go.
On the
There you
4090.
go.
Thank you, Porter.
The Last of Us remake on the 4090.
The Last of Us 1 remake on PC. There you go. I guess.
Is it out now? Is it out now? No, it isn't. Though.
When does it come out?
When it comes out,
I think it's out, right?
After PlayStation gives it to you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes,
you're welcome.
yes.
Hey,
yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, I'm just saying. I just answered your question. Hey,
I don't even care. I already played that game way back on the PS3. I'm good. I'm just like, obviously there's certain games that PlayStation themselves make that just PC can't compete because there's nobody on PC that's going to dedicate as much time to.
That's what I just said to you.
Because of what? Yes, but like I'm not talking about specifically gaming. Like I'm talking about the other stuff. We were talking about VR. You brought in video games.
But we're talking about VR.
If there is a game,
we're not talking about VR. For
I know. If there's a game on the PSVR2 that I'm like, oh fuck, then I'm gonna shell out for a PS5 and the PSVR. I'm not gonna just buy it just because.
Yeah, here's my question: how come the PS5 by itself hasn't sold itself to you yet? Like, what would you need for getting PSVR for a bit?
Because
he said he wanted more time to see exactly.
I want more time to see. Like,
no, that's about PSVR2, right? I'm talking about the PS5 by itself. Like, how come you haven't gotten the console yet?
Because the games that I'm interested in playing, like Spider-Man, I already played, and Uncharted is already on PC. Like God of War is on PC. Like I can play those games already.
He gets the best version.
I'm not rushed. I'm not rushed to play God of War Ragnarok though. Like I know what the game is all about. Like like there's nothing right now that.
So what you're saying is.
Fuck. So what game? So Kobe J, what game for you would be like? All right, yep. This is.
That's what I was asking.
What game would it
Infamous.
be? Infamous, really?
Infamous would be a good one.
Infamous 3.
So, why don't you just wait for it to come to PC?
Infamous or Killzone.
Some games, Killzone.
Killzone would be a really good one. If those games get announced
in the PS3 generation.
on PS5. Listen, dude, like I already played most of the shit on PS4. I had a PS4. I have a PS4 still here. If those games come out, if they announce Infamous or Killzone, I'll be excited to get a PS5.
Listen. I don't understand why you will move towards a PS5 for Infamous when you can just wait for it to come to PC. Is that what you just said about Ragnarok?
But some games you can't wait for. Some games you can't wait for.
Exactly.
Okay. Fair enough.
I waited on the PS4. Like there was nothing on PS4 that interests me, but when they announced Fallout 4, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get a PS4 . And I went and got a PS4.
Okay, fair enough.
That's fine. That's cool. But like, that's just what it is.
It was Bloodborne for me. When they announced Bloodborne, I was like, okay, this is it. This is that game.
Yeah, like imagine if Killzone, the new Killzone has a VR mode for it, or the new Infamous also has a VR mode for it. You could just run around fucking shocking people as like Cole McGrath, even though he died, but you get the idea.
So Killzone.
I really like Killzone.
That series is trash. Now I'm playing. All right.
Mortarstorm. If they announce Mortarstorm, I'm on there, bro. Mortarstorm, amazing.
Going back to PSVR2.
All I'm saying is PSVR2 is the one that's going to push the high-end quality games that PC never did because nobody supported it on PC because it was too expensive. Now on PSVR2, nowadays it'll happen. It'll make everybody else want to step their game up to make even better games thanks to PlayStation. That's what I hope happens.
My little bro Doctor saying Game Pass on VR. Oh shit.
As he should.
My little bro's hurt.
Yeah, xCloud's already on the Quest. I can play xCloud on the Quest already.
There you go.
All right,
great.
All right. So
back to the cool stuff. I will not get the PSVR2 right now, simply because
it's probably like $2,000 in Australia.
No, actually, the money is not really the issue. The fact is just that I've never played it. Like I've never experienced VR, so I don't know what I don't know. And
do you have?
I'm gonna say, let me ask you. I can help you. I can help. I'm gonna say this. Do you like the idea? Like, you ever seen PCs or videos of console gamers?
It's hard to explain it, P-Rock. It's hard to explain it.
I can help you out. You ever seen videos of people? They buy those Philips lights, and the reason that attaches to the console.
The Philips Hue.
Philips Hue. Yeah, perfect. And like the reason why they do it so that way it makes it seem like the game is being expanded.
It's bigger,
across the room, more. What's the word? Yeah. Do you like that idea? Do you like the idea of your game being more immersed? Like,
I've got this. I've got a 77-inch OLED, and I sit way too close to it when I want it to just seem even bigger.
Yeah, so you like that immersion. You like the feeling.
I like it, but I have it already. Do you get what I mean?
No, you
That's
don't.
not the same.
No,
That's not the same.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you
so
don't.
if money's not an
it's
issue,
like
right?
this. It's like this.
I would-
Now I'm gonna say this. Your 77-inch TV is like Tylenol. VR is crack cocaine. You don't have it, bro. If you like immersion, this motherfucker is it. This is like the only next best thing is the shit you see on TV sci-fi shows, bro. Like the TV will never give you that level of immersion. Like if you, that's what I say to people. If you want immersion, as if you're literally in the world, like you're literally doing this, and you're literally in the game. That VR does it, bro. It's like, yo,
you know
what,
the way you explain it.
I hit my head on the wall, like no lie. When I was in Germany, I hit my head on the wall because of a fucking Spider-Man game.
I almost broke my
that's
thumb
a free
playing
demo.
VR.
That was a free demo. Like, yo, a free demo. I'm swinging. I'm on the roof. I'm looking over the roof, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the street. Money textures. I'm on the PS4. Like, the graphics ain't that great, but it was just so cool that I'm looking over the building and I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. I turn around and I see the rest of the city. I'm like, oh, let me look over there. I move over there and bam! I hit the fucking wall because I completely lost. I lost all.
You were immersed.
Yeah, I lost all sense of the room I was in, of the real world. Because I was so immersed in the game world, I completely forgot about the real world. And I cracked into that motherfucker bad. Bro, I'm telling you.
The only negative that I have for you,
fuck.
The only reason why you shouldn't get it is if your eyes are either really far apart or really close. Because the lenses have to move to accommodate for the distance between your eyes. And if it's
First of all, how would you even know that? How would you even know that?
Like, how you know? How you know my eyes are bugged out, man? Let me find out. Let me find out. Let me find out. Extremists like this and shit.
Listen, if your eyes are either too far apart or too close, like the range of.
But don't they have no? But the PSVR2,
the lenses have to be.
The PSVR2 has the thing.
I have had my heart broken, but if I am rejected by the physics of a PlayStation VR2, I will feel like the biggest freak.
All I'm saying is that the problem is that if the lenses aren't right in the middle of your eyes, it's gonna feel really bad.
I don't know if you've seen the video, but the PSVR2 has the thing.
I know it does.
I know it does, but
no,
I know it does, but the range.
He's like even with that. If you're that much of a freak of nature, it's still not going to do anything for you, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I mean...
exactly.
I mean, yo...
This guy looked at my profile pic and was like, Emmanuel, you're in danger.
No, I haven't even seen your picture.
Just go and check.
Listen, if you got one extra chromosome, I don't know what to tell you.
If money isn't an issue, just wait till it comes to retail, get it. If you don't like it, just return it.
If you got a chromosome issue or something, I don't know what to tell you. If you're missing a chromosome...
What I was going... Interesting is that, you are selling me on that.
I'm telling you, that's what I tell people. How important is immersion to you in gaming? Like, as far as the next big thing, how important is immersion? If some people be like, I don't really care to immersion, I'd be like, then forget about it. Don't worry about it. VR is all about immersion, and that is your world.
Do you know what you're trying to do? And the hardest thing about marketing VR is that you're trying to tell me what a color TV looks like on a black and white set.
I know.
And it's like you can describe it as much as you can.
But you can appreciate immersion. And that's how I got people into VR.
I mean, everybody can appreciate colors, right? But it was still hard.
No, but you go beyond that. You set yourself, you get closer to your big ass screen because you want to be more immersed on it.
No. But what I'm saying is that, guys, I just need to actually look beyond the curtain. Okay, like you can describe it to me, but until it's in retail stores, until there's a demo available, or a friend of mine has it, I'm not going to be going out and forking over my money until I've experienced that.
Well, what you could do is buy it in the store. They have a 30-day return policy.
Exactly.
Hey, which store is this? Because you're not in Australia.
Is that like that in Australia?
I'm just going to say that real quick.
It's not like that? They don't have a return policy? Even if it's a 10-day return policy. It's one
especially
cable.
especially for a wearable device.
All you need, Extreme, is just one day. You need less than a
one
day.
day.
Guys, all I
Listen,
need is
one day,
demo.
literally.
I just need a kiosk.
One
okay,
hour.
that is available somewhere.
Yeah, but you might
I just
get-
go and I
Listen,
try
bro,
it.
you
in
don't want
30 minutes.
COVID.
You
That's
might
what I
get- you
want.
might
You don't know
eye
who
herpes.
use that shit.
You might get eye herpes.
Yeah, you're gonna get COVID or some shit. Putting some strangers.
No, listen. You
I
have
heard-
terrified me that my eyes might be too far apart. I'm not buying this shit until I checked it out.
Are they too far apart?
Bro, you looked at my picture and you were
said,
like,
how
nah,
did you
bro.
know?
Let me point this
How
out
did you
really
know?
quick.
Oh shit! All right, people. Hey, we had a good time with this one, man. Hey, I see little by little, everybody kept dropping out. Jay Barry left. Hey, check him out on Saturdays along with Persona. What's Up PlayStation? It's at 11 in the morning Eastern Time. Fantastic show, pure PlayStation conversation, gaming talk. It's all about the games, all about the content. If you're a PlayStation fan or you're interested in PlayStation, that is the show you need to watch. Of course, we got Craig Harris. I don't know what that guy does. His shows is some of the most random podcasts I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know where.
But if you can catch it. It's funny. It's entertaining. Check that out. Project Cloud dipped out. You see him here from time to time with his stuff. Call me Jay. Say your shout outs.
Yo, someone say hammerhead shark head ass.
We're gonna chat on it.
What the hell, dude? I don't got no shout outs. That's it. Hit the like. Please hit the like.
Captain for Suicide Squad. Oh, shit. Extreme, man. Thank you so much again for coming through.
Yo, I just want to say how disappointing it is that PSVR2 is only releasing with about 40 games in the launch window.
That's more than Xbox.
We needed more games.
That's more than
IGN has told me.
That's more than Xbox.
Hey, IGN has told me that
If
they needed
Microsoft
more
had
games.
bought Activision, they would have put more games on PSVR2.
There you
All
go.
right.
There you go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Activision games on PSVR 2 because of Sony.
It's so disappointing, and I just wish that PlayStation could have the same access as Xbox does to these journalists, because they release consoles. It's been 2 years. I still haven't seen 12 teraflops show up. But, PlayStation VR2, it needed 17 different first-party games, on the level of Call of the Mountain or better in order to justify its existence. And also, it's too expensive, and the code weighs on you. And these are just some of the comments I've been reading about the reviews, so I just think overall it's a disappointment that this thing even exists. That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned this week. That's what I've learned. I'm just passing on the message from the reviews.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot me. I don't believe these things, but that's what I've been learning from the experts. So,
There's a lot of people that are just talking out of their ass, bro. They never been in the VR talking, and now they're talking about it because of the PSVR 2.
It's clout
and they're saying
chasing,
some
man.
outlandish shit.
It's clout
Yeah,
chasing.
the cable is like a thin cable, but like it seems to be hanging off from the side. So what I would do, which I did with my previous headset that had a cable, you run it to the back, and then you put a zip tie so that the weight of the cable is on the back, not on the side. It's not pulling your headset to the left.
One of these journalists said that the cable was wearing down on his shoulder. I was like, yo, how can I buy this thing?
Nah.
My shoulder its strength is pitiful. My eyes are already too wide, so it's just.
Oh no, dude!
When I saw some of these reviews, and even worse, it was sets that Sony provided. I'm like, yo, Sony's PR marketing, you guys are garbage, because you're sending this shit to people who are just capping. They're just doing this shit for the cap.
I want to talk really quick about the price. All these people saying it's too expensive.
It's not,
motherfucker. The best headset on PC is the Index, and that costs $1,000. Yeah. That whole set costs what a PS5 and a PSVR 2 bundled cost, dude. And it's not even that good compared. It's nothing compared to the PSVR 2. It's nothing, literally. There's a reason why majority of people that play on PC VR, they're like, please Sony, put it on PC too. There's a reason why they're begging Sony to put that on PC, because it's a really good headset for the price. But Sony's not gonna do it because they thrive on sales. If they don't sell games off of the PSVR,
that's all.
That's all. It's just all cap. Anyway, this is your boy PorterRock77, Yodi Freddy's YouTube Streets. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I'll catch you guys next week. 60 Frames Don't Like podcast next Tuesday. I promise I will go live and talk about my cruise, because I know people been hitting me up in the DMs and be like, Porterac, you promise? Because I guess there's certain people that's really interested, thinking about going on a cruise.
They care about you, man.
So we're doing it. Yeah, no, but it was a great time. So I do owe you guys that. But until then, hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for rocking out. Hit the like button on your way out, and I'll catch you guys next week. You guys take care. Peace. All right. Can we end the stream?